If I told you that the most powerful skin transforming tool available to you right now costs less than $10? Not a luxury serum, not a clinical treatment, not something your dermatologist is recommending, because a brand rep sent them a gift basket. Something simple, old, something that the beauty industry has quietly hoped you would overlook for decades. Because the moment you understand what it can actually do, you stop spending hundreds of dollars on products that were never built for you in the first place. Stay with me through this entire video, because at the very end, I am sharing a 2-ingredient combination that nobody in this space is talking about. And when I say nobody, I mean nobody. It takes everything in this protocol and multiplies it in ways that will genuinely surprise you. I will get to it, but every section before it builds the foundation. Skip ahead and you will miss the point entirely. Welcome back to Ageless Luminance, the space where women over 50 stop accepting generic answers and start getting specific about what their skin actually needs. If you are new here, hit that subscribe button right now, because what we do here is different. We do not do trends. We do not do one-size-fits-all. We do science that belongs to us, delivered straight, no filters. Let us start with something that most skincare content will never say out loud. The overwhelming majority of ingredient research, clinical trials, and product formulations in the beauty industry were built on lighter skin types. Fitzpatrick 1 through 3. That is not a conspiracy theory, that is a documentation gap. And it is sitting quietly behind every anti-aging cream that promised you results and delivered confusion instead. And here's where it gets personal. How much money have you spent on products that were clinically tested on skin that looks nothing like yours? Write that number in the comments if you are brave enough. I promise you, you are not alone and you are not foolish. You were given incomplete information that ends today. Melanin-rich skin Fitzpatrick 4 to 6 operates on a completely different structural level. Our dermis is measurably thicker. Our collagen bundles are denser and more tightly organized. We produce melanin through more active melanocytes, which gives us extraordinary natural protection against UV-induced photoaging. That is not a small thing. That is structural superiority, and most of the content you've been consuming has never once acknowledged it. But here's the other side of that truth. Our skin also carries specific needs that a generic anti-agula was never designed to address. We carry a higher biological risk of post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation. You may know it simply as dark spots or discoloration. Any product that triggers even mild irritation can leave behind marks that take months, sometimes longer, to resolve. And many of those aggressive actives being marketed aggressively to women over 45. They are working against our biology, not with it. This is precisely why castor oil used correctly is not a budget alternative to something better. It is a precise biological match for exactly what our skin needs. And that distinction matters more than any price. Let's talk about what castor oil actually is, because most people using it have no idea why it works. And that lack of understanding is exactly why most people quit before they see results. Castor oil is approximately 90% ricinoleic acid. That is its defining compound, and it behaves unlike any fatty acid found in other common carrier oils. Ricinoleic acid is a hydroxyl fatty acid. That hydroxyl group is what makes it exceptional. It has a natural affinity for water, which means it does not simply sit on the surface of your skin, blocking everything underneath. It acts as an elusive that works with skin's existing moisture, locking hydration into the layers where it actually counts. For melanin-rich skin, the barrier is everything. When our barrier is even slightly compromised, water escapes through the surface, texture becomes uneven, and the quiet conditions for hyperpigmentation are being created without you even realizing it. Castor oil applied consistently reinforces that barrier without the irritation risk. No retinoid burn, no acid sensitivity, no inflammation trigger, which means no invitation for the discoloration that synthetic actives can cause on deeper skin tones. And there is more. Ricinoleic acid carries documented anti-inflammatory properties at the cellular level. It interacts with prostaglandin 1 receptors in the skin tissue, which are directly involved in the inflammatory response. So, it is not only protecting your barrier, it is actively reducing the low-grade chronic inflammation that quietly degrades collagen in the deeper layers of your dermis over time. Now, pause for a moment. Run your fingers slowly along your jawline. Follow that edge carefully. The density you feel beneath the surface, that is the collagen structure we are working to protect. Castor oil applied consistently with the right technique gives that architecture exactly what it needs to hold its shape. And the right technique is everything. Which brings me to the part that most people completely get wrong. I want to ask you something directly right now. How many of you have tried castor oil before, found it too thick, too sticky, too heavy, and abandoned it within a week? If that was you, come down to the comments now and type "I quit." I read this community personally, and I genuinely want to know, because what I'm about to share is the exact reason most people never see a single result from this oil. Castor oil is dense. Its viscosity is significantly higher than most carrier oils, and that density is not a flaw. That density is the mechanism, but it also means that how you apply it is not optional. Application method is structural to the entire protocol. Get it wrong and you'll be greasy, frustrated, and convinced it does not work. Get it right and you'll be telling your girlfriends about it in 3 weeks. Here's the exact method. Step 1. Quality before anything else. The oil should be cold-dressed, hexane-free, and unrefined. The color should be pale, golden yellow. If it's completely clear and watery, something has been processed out. If it smells sharp or fermented, it's past its window. A high-quality castor oil has a very subtle, nearly neutral scent. That's your standard. Do not compromise here. Step 2. Apply to damp skin only, not dry, damp. The castor oil seals. It traps moisture already present on the skin's surface and prevents it from escaping overnight. On dry skin, it has far less to work with. This one single adjustment changes the entire outcome. Step 3. The massage. And this part is not optional. 3 to 5 minutes upward strokes along the jawline and neck. Gentle circular movement at the temples. Light pressure along the brow bone. This movement activates the lymphatic vessels directly beneath your skin. Fluid retention reduces the face sculpts. The effect that people describe as waking up looking restructured overnight. That is not mystical. That is lymphatic drainage activated by your own hands and sealed in overnight by the oil. And remember, that 2-ingredient combination I mentioned at the beginning. It's still coming, and every step you're learning right now feeds directly into it. Stay with me. We're almost there. This is the full sequence written out simply so you can begin tonight if you choose to. After cleansing, while your face is still slightly damp, take 1 to 2 drops of castor oil between your fingertips and warm it for about 10 seconds. Apply to the jawline and neck first, moving upward, then the cheekbones, moving toward the temples, then lightly across the forehead. Use whatever residue remains on the backs of your hands because that skin deserves the same attention. Then massage for a minimum of 3 minutes, always upward and outward. You will feel warmth building as circulation increases. That warmth is the protocol working. Leave it overnight. Do not layer additional products on top. Castor oil is your final step. Let it work in a clean, uncompromised environment. And this is the part I need you to actually take seriously. Consistency is the only variable that determines results here. 2 weeks minimum before you evaluate. The skin renewal cycle for women in this stage of life runs approximately 28 to 35 days. You have to give your biology the space to respond. 1 week is not data. 2 weeks is the beginning of a conversation. If you are finding value in this, a favor right now. Share this video with one woman in your life who has been spending too much money on products that were never built for her. One share, one woman. That is how Ageless Luminance grows. Now, let us get to what you have been waiting for. We are here. This is what you stayed for, and I promise you it was worth the wait. The compound that makes this entire protocol exponentially more effective is rose hip seed oil. Applied first before the castor oil, not blended together in the same bottle, not mixed on your palm, layered intentionally in a specific order for a specific reason. Here's the science. Rose hip seed oil is exceptionally high in transretinoic acid, a naturally occurring form of vitamin A and linoleic acid. For melanin-rich skin, linoleic acid is particularly significant. Research indicates that melanin-rich skin tends to run lower in linoleic acid and higher in oleic acid relative to lighter skin types. Restoring that linoleic balance reduces inflammation, reinforces the barrier, and critically has been shown to reduce melanin synthesis at the cellular level. That means it works directly on hyperpigmentation at its source, not just at the surface, at the source. And now, here's where people are going to disagree with me in the comments. And I welcome it, because I believe that this 2-ingredient combination does more for melanin-rich skin over 45 than most $500 night creams on the market. I said what I said. Come disagree with me below. Here is the exact layering method. 1 pump of rose hip seed oil applied first to damp skin pressed gently in, followed immediately by 1 to 2 drops of castor oil to seal it. The rose hip penetrates and does its work at the cellular layer. The castor oil locks it in place, extends its contact time overnight, and handles the lymphatic sculpting component through your massage. Together, they address exactly what melanin-rich skin over 45 needs: barrier reinforcement, hyperpigmentation reduction at the source, collagen support, structural sculpting. Total cost under $15. Total effectiveness built for our biology from the ground up. Section 6. The truth about aging and what timeless actually means. Before we close, I want to say something plainly, and I need you to actually hear it, not just process it as information. Sit with it. The conversation around aging has spent decades trying to convince women like us that our skin is losing something. That after 50, the work becomes about slowing damage, about holding on. Every $200 night cream, every agedifying serum, every campaign built around the word anti-aging, all of it rests on the same foundational assumption that time is working against you. Queens, that assumption was never built on our biology. What is actually happening in melanin-rich skin over 45 is far more interesting than any marketing department wants you to believe. Your mist still producing photoprotection that lighter skin types simply cannot replicate. Your dermal collagen denser and more tightly organized is not disappearing. It is responding to environment, to inputs, to what you choose to put on it every single night. The thicker dermis that defines Fitzpatrick 4 through 6 skin carries structural resilience that does not hire at 50. What changes is not your capacity. What changes is your awareness of it. And that awareness writes the actual shift. The women who are genuinely glowing at 55, at 62, at 68 are not using magic. At some point, they made a decision to stop accepting generic answers and start getting specific. You are making that decision right now. And that is exactly what Ageless Luminance was built for. Not to sell you on a trend, to hand you the science that belongs to you. Without translation, without dilution, without apology. Aging is not subtraction, it is refinement. You are not starting over. You are building on a foundation that was designed to last. Now, here is my question for you this week, and I want a real answer in those comments. Between the rosehip and castor oil layering method and the lymphatic massage technique, which one are you starting tonight? Not thinking about starting, not planning to start next week. Tonight, write it out below. Make it a commitment. This community holds each other accountable, and I will be in those comments reading every single one. And if you are watching this and you have not yet subscribed to Ageless Luminance, what are you waiting for? This is the community that gives you the real information, the science that was always yours. Hit subscribe and turn on your notifications so you never miss what we are building here together. If this video gave you something real today, pass it to one woman in your life who deserves this information. One share, one queen at a time. I will see you in the next video.